Hello, hello, test 1, 2, 3, hello. Hello, hello, test 1, 2, 3, hello.
Hello and welcome everybody. It is so lovely to be able to be speaking with all of you this morning. I think as of yesterday, we had over 600 people who are registered to be at this virtual assembly this morning, which is really exciting. So, and I'm sure you're going to get lots and lots of really useful information from it. So welcome so much. I'm Jackie. I work for the Devon, Plymouth and Torbay Careers Hub. And we support all the mainstream secondary schools and the SEND secondary schools, alternative provisions and colleges all across the region with their careers programs and their strategies. And we connect them, we connect schools and colleges with businesses as well and get some really wonderful projects going. I support all the Torbay schools and South Hams and Newton Abbot, and I also work with South Devon College and TDA. And South Devon College, TDA and us at the Careers Hub, we've put together this Virtual Apprenticeship Assembly as part of National Apprenticeship Week, which is this week. And so you're going to learn all about lots of different things, all about apprenticeships. So it's going to help you with your choices and making your choices about what you want to do, your further learning in a really informed way. And there are so many incredible opportunities out there for your career pathways. So while this is happening, it's actually interactive. So there's a chat function. So if there are any questions from you, you can pass those on to your teachers. And if your parents, carers, adults at home listening as well, because we've not just got schools that are actually here today, we've got people that have just dialed in themselves. So if you've got any chats, anything you want to ask at all, put it in the chat. And so once I've gone from saying hi to you this morning, I'll be in there looking at those questions and passing them through. So yeah, we really want to make sure that you're asking what you really want to ask as well. So that's great. You're going to meet some amazing people in some great varied sectors this morning. So we've got the Countryside Partnership, that's construction sector. We've got Evolution Marines, that's the marine sector, talking about apprenticeships there. We've got Bovey Castle, who are going to talk all about hospitality and the opportunities there. We've got the NHS talking about health and social care. We've got Pennon talking about engineering opportunities. And we've also got an apprentice who's going to talk all about her experiences as well, which is really great. And then we're going to have South Devon College. We're going to have Ben, who's going to be talking all about your next steps that you can look at. But first, I'm going to introduce you to an amazing person. She's called Sharon Robbie. She's Managing Director of Devon and Cornwall Training Provider Network. She's going to talk with you all about what is an apprenticeship and how do I get one. Now, I just want to say something else about Sharon, first of all, as well. She was actually awarded an MBE by the late Queen for her work with apprenticeships and skills. What Sharon doesn't know about apprenticeships isn't worth knowing, honestly. She's absolutely fantastic. And she's so passionate about education and learning. And so I'm going to hand over to Sharon straight away. And she is just going to tell you all about some wonderful opportunities that you have. Thank you so much, Sharon.
Thank you, Jackie, and welcome everybody to National Apprenticeship Week. The theme for National Apprenticeship Week this year is Skills for Life, and it's something, as Jackie says, I am absolutely passionate about. Today, you are going to hear some from fantastic people who are going to tell you everything you need to know about apprenticeships, and they're going to share their journey with you. They're going to share opportunities with you. But one of the things that I want to start today's virtual assembly with is what is an apprenticeship, because there's lots of misconceptions about what it actually is. So let's start and have a look at what we actually know about apprenticeships. So the first thing to say is that you're employed. It's a real job. It's not work experience. It's not an internship. It's not a work placement. It's a real job with a contract of employment. So you're paid a salary. Now, the current national minimum wage for an apprentice is £5.28 an hour. That will go up on the 1st of April. But when you'll see later on in my slides that most employers pay far more than that. An apprenticeship will take typically 1 to 6 years, and that depends on the level that you're studying at and the job role. There are more than 600 different routes into different jobs. They call them standards. So 600 different ways in which you can study for the most amazing career. You'll do both off the job and on the job training. So the majority of your study takes place in the workplace. So you work a minimum of 30 hours a week. And then you would also go to college or to an independent training provider for further study, usually 1 day a week. There are a range of different levels of apprenticeship, and we'll look at them at the next slide. But one of the things to say is you have very real responsibilities. You're actually doing the job. It's very, very hands-on, although there is study to go alongside it. One of the things young people ask me and their parents and carers is it the easy option? Absolutely not. It's really, really tough, and it's highly competitive to get one of those really, really great apprenticeship opportunities that are currently out there. You're studying, you're working full time. If you don't get your maths and English whilst you're at school or at college, you need to get them, because you're going to have to do them alongside your apprenticeship study. You may have caring responsibilities, and you also want to go out and party, I would have thought. So it's not the easy option. But just like going to university isn't for everyone, doing an apprenticeship isn't for everyone. Now, there are lots of different levels of apprenticeships. I'm an ex-apprentice. I was a dental nurse apprentice back in 1980, back in the mist of time, and things have really changed since I did my apprenticeship. You can now study all the way through to level 6 and 7. So if you're doing your GCSEs this year, or you're working towards your GCSEs, that's level 2. If you stay on and do A levels, that's level 3. And now we can have higher and degree level apprenticeships. That means you can start your career and you can progress through. You can gain a university level qualification without going through the traditional route. So you can gain those levels 6 and 7. Why would you want to do that? Well, the main thing is around debt. Also, for some people, going to university is just not an option, and it's just not what they want to do. They're very much about wanting to get stuck into it, to get into the workplace, to build those networks and to actually start doing the job. By doing a higher or degree level apprenticeship, the employer or the government pays your tuition fees, so there's no debt. You're actually working within an industry and you're actually doing a job role, and you are earning a salary. And I'll share again in a moment some of those salaries. Especially at higher and degree level, we're seeing significant starting salaries. You still get that experience of going to university. You can still leave home actually and do a degree level apprenticeship, and accommodation is sought by the employer. You get your NUS card and you work in a cohort with other young people who are studying at the same level. So it's something to consider if you're particularly looking at a particular profession in terms of those university level qualifications, that you can attain it through a non-traditional route. So when I did my apprenticeship, there were very, very traditional routes with regards to hair, beauty, childcare, cooking, plumbing, plastering, electrical. And now look, we are seeing more and more professional career roles being offered via an apprenticeship route. They are just about to introduce a medicine, so you can train to be a doctor via an apprenticeship. But you can see here on the slide, quantity surveyor, dietitian, beauty therapist, legal, doctor, hairdresser. There's a whole range. So there is going to be something for you. Please do take a look, and we'll share resources with you at the end of this assembly where you can go and have a look at some of the amazing opportunities that exist for you to enter the world of work via an apprenticeship. So a whole range of employers offer apprenticeships. Now this slide actually shows the national employers, and a lot of them actually operate across the southwest, and they operate across the Torbay area. And you can see we've got everything from Land Rover, Jaguar, IBM, Sky, Costa, Primark. There's a whole range of different employers that are offering positions as apprentices. But do consider some of those smaller organisations that operate across the town, across the city, in terms of apprenticeships, because we've got some fantastic smaller employers who offer very, very good apprenticeship programmes. So what I wanted to show you this morning, and apologies that we're really tight on time, but what I wanted to show you was the number of apprenticeships that are available as of last night. Now, I put in the postcode for South Devon College, and within 5 miles, there's currently 9. Well, that's because it's just not a particularly built up area. And you've got to remember as well that you may well have to travel to do your apprenticeship. But if you expand the search, you can see that the number goes up. Now, this number is quite low at the moment, but in the next couple of weeks, it will rise quite significantly, especially as we move into the holiday season and we move into the sort of spring bank holiday area. But you can see there are a number of apprenticeships that are currently available. So I wanted to show you some of those particular apprenticeships. So just take a look at the slide here and you can see a range of apprenticeship opportunities that currently exist. Now, at the beginning of my presentation, I spoke to you about the fact that the national minimum wage for apprenticeships is £5.28 an hour. You can see here from this slide that there are a number of those jobs that are paying more than that, and in some cases significantly more. So if you're a young person and you're looking to leave school or college in September, in the summer of this year, and you've got your GCSEs, there are a number of roles there that you could actually tap into. You need to start applying now. And I'll explain how you can apply for those in just a moment. I think I have a few more here on this slide. Yeah. So again, everything, travel consultant, dental nurse, content creator. And we're seeing more and more employers wanting young people with those digital skills. So being able to upload video, being able to upload content to their social media platforms to support them in their business promotion. But again, we also see those traditional apprenticeships, carpentry, chef, and again, the accounts and finance world. We're seeing more and more interest from employers wanting young people to enter their industry. So you can see from this slide and the couple of slides that I've just shared, there are a number of opportunities that currently exist. And even if you are not leaving school or not moving, progressing on until the summer, you should really think about starting to apply now. For those of you who are interested in doing a higher level or a degree level apprenticeship, as I said, that's a fantastic way in order to gain a university level qualification via a non-traditional route. This listing comes out twice a year. South Devon College have access to it. It comes out in January and October of each year. And you can see the wide range of employers that offer those degree level and higher level apprenticeships. And I just wanted to share with you this couple of slides here to show you what's actually on offer. So accountancy, as I mentioned, really keen for the British Army. You can see the starting salaries there, 19,000, but they're all level 7. So you wouldn't just go into that straight from school doing your GCSEs. If you have done your A levels, you may want to look at those level 4s. And again, here you can see Devonport Royal Dockyard, Dunelm, Eon. We've got a couple with Goldman Sachs, Network Rail, all offering really fantastic opportunities for young people to gain those higher level skills and earn a significant salary whilst doing so. So where did I find all this information? Well, what you can do is go to the government website, which is www.gov.uk, find an apprenticeship. And what you can do there is you can register and you can activate your account and you can look and see what's on offer. All you need to do is put in your postcode and you can do a search on 5 miles, 10 miles, 15 miles. I do say to young people, please don't just put in 5 miles because it's very rare that you're actually going to get a job within 5 miles of where you actually live. And that's one of the things to consider when you're looking at those apprenticeship vacancies and you're making those applications. Think about how you're going to get to the job. Is there public transport? Are you going to have to rely on somebody giving you a lift there? What happens if it's shift work? So all of those things need to be taken into consideration. So those apprenticeship vacancies that I just shared with you, I found here. So gov.uk, find an apprenticeship. I put in the postcode of South Devon College and it brought them up. What you can do is register, activate an account, and you can set up alerts and you can apply. However, that's not the only place where you can look for those apprenticeship vacancies. Some companies don't use that site. Go and look at their company website. If you know which company that you are keen to work for, go and look at their company website. And if they don't have anything, email them. Find out the details from the HR department and email them. Also take a look on social media. They use lots and lots of social media advertising and promotion in terms of recruitment nowadays because they know that young people feel comfortable using that medium. So do take a look at social media. And talk to family and friends. Don't shy away from sharing your aspirations. Don't not tell people what it is you want to do, because somebody could overhear you. Somebody could hear you and go, actually, I could help you there because I know somebody. Because sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. So share your ambitions, share them with your family and friends, and keep looking in every different direction in terms of where you want to go. And the other thing to say is to apply for everything. don't just stick to one route, apply for everything. It might be applying for university, applying for an apprenticeship, staying on at college, moving into a sixth form, whatever it is that you're considering, apply for it all, okay? As I said, do take a look at the company website, do take a look at the gov.uk website, because there's a huge amount of information out there. And these sites here will give you a plethora of information and support. They'll help you with your CV. They'll help you with interview techniques. They'll help you if you have to undertake a mock assessment as part of your application process. Because you know, I said at the beginning, it's not the easy route. Highly competitive apprenticeship market at the moment, and employers want the very, very best. So when I spoke about making sure you've got your maths and English, make sure you've also got some of that extracurricular stuff to put on your CV. If you play in a sports team, if you've got a part-time job, if you do volunteering, all of that will actually add to your application and make you stand out for the crowd. And these two sites will actually give you a whole load of hints and tips about how to do that. That is a really quick whistle through about apprenticeships. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you managed to get the gist of what that is. For me, an apprenticeship is an absolute fantastic start to any career. As I said, I started as an apprentice a long time ago, but it's really stood me in good stead. I've loved every minute of my journey, and I'd like to wish you all the very best for what you do in your careers. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for the invaluable information there on all things apprenticeships. We're just checking if you have any questions. We don't have any questions specifically for Sharon. However, we do have a question in regards to the C Fisheries Apprenticeship at South Devon College. That question is, my grandson is 16 in April. Is he too young for the Fisher Apprenticeship? And the answer to that is that you are able to do the Fisher Apprenticeship at 16, but there is also a one-year full-time course that can support somebody in getting ready for life on a boat. So hopefully that answers the question for you. For those of you who are wondering who I am, my name is Connor Keneally and I work for TDA as a Senior Economic Development Officer. We deliver Torbay's economic growth strategy, and we aim to improve Torbay's economy, make pride in the place and contribute to prosperity across Torbay. I'll now be introducing to you a range of different speakers from a range of different sectors. As Jackie alluded to earlier, we have a range of fantastic speakers now, all of which will be offering insight into a range of different apprenticeships. Firstly, we have Tatiana Fernandez and Luke Driver from the Countryside Partnership, talking more on construction apprenticeships. Tatiana's current role is Social Value Manager and Regional PR Coordinator, and Luke is a Construction Management Trainee.
Hi. Perfect. Hi everyone. So my name's Tatiana and I work for Countryside Partnerships. We are now part of History Group. And we are going to be talking to you today about apprenticeships in construction and a little bit of what we can offer you as an organisation. As you can see, at Vistry Group, we are very passionate about creating lasting careers and traineeships. So we currently have several different traineeships that run from a level 2 and level 3s all the way up to degree apprenticeships. As you can see on the screen, our own very own CEO, Greg Fitzgerald, did actually start his journey into house building and the construction industry as a apprenticeship estimator. So, and he's now made it all the way up to the owner of Vistry, allowing him to progress through that career path instead of going to university and building his career by conducting a degree. As you can see on the screen, we offer a programme on a traineeship for apprenticeships that covers 3 higher apprenticeship pathways. This one's a construction trainee, the commercial trainee and the design and technical trainee. We do get a lot of individuals and candidates that come of a background in architecture or commercials or science that tend to really enjoy the progression into the commercial or the design programme that we offer. What type of qualifications do you need to join us as a trainee? Ideally, A levels or a T level or a relevant vocational qualification. However, when you join us as an apprenticeship, the process to joining Vistry is just exactly the same as joining for a job position. So you would have to apply through our website, submit your CV, come in for an interview with the relevant sector in the business, and see if you would be eligible to jump onto one of our programs. As you can see, construction, it is a very wide industry. I think there is the myth of thinking that construction relies around only trade apprenticeships. We offer over 180 different job roles in construction. Most of them do have opportunities to jump on a apprenticeship from a level 2 all the way up to a level 7. And as you can see on the screen, there is some examples of the job roles that we employ within Vistry or across our supply chain. Here we have just described a little bit what these salaries could look like, looking at the trade side of things or looking at more managerial positions. We've actually put down what the starting salary would be or run from, and what is the aim of the progression, and what is the total amount of salaries that you could achieve. And now I'm going to pass it on to Luke. Luke is our construction trainee. He joined us in September of 2023 from the back end of his A levels, and he's just going to run you through what his experience has been since joining the business as a trainee for us.
Yeah, hi everyone. So my kind of route into the construction industry, I did my A levels, and about halfway through I went into an apprenticeship show in Exeter, which kind of gave you a rundown of all the different apprenticeships available in the area, which then ended up getting me in touch with Tatiana, who sent off my CV, and I applied for the RISE program as a construction trainee going into site management. So my kind of day-to-day role, on a Monday I do a degree level apprenticeship in supervisor management, starting with a level 4 MBQ, which will then make me become qualified to be an assistant site manager, and then go further once I become more qualified. I get involved with the management team on site, as well as I drive to different sites, such as ones in Truro and Penzance. As you can see on the left of the screen, there's kind of a few pictures of things we find in the archaeology work before starting on site. So there's the casts of like hammerheads from 2,000 years ago, and on the right it shows the kind of developments that we're refurbing, like kind of houses. And yeah, so it shows a nuclear bunker door, which I found pretty cool, so I thought I'd put that on there. And then going into like out of work events, we do on the top left there, we're showing a it's at Sherford in Plymouth. We did a litter cleanup in the local area. At the bottom, it shows an inflatable obstacle course that we did a charity event for. And on the right, part of my program was to make bird boxes for local primary schools. So yeah, that's kind of my experience going into the industry. I'd definitely recommend it, and I'd definitely get involved as much as you can, get your name out there. And that's kind of what I had to do to get where I am today. So I really enjoy it so far. It's really good.
And lastly, we have some links and contact emails on the screen that we can share on completion. We would definitely urge parents and students that do have an interest in construction to come and talk to us, to explore what apprenticeships we might be able to offer, whether that is directly with us or if it's a facilitation into the supply chain. We can certainly look into supporting trade apprenticeships. We work with loads of local training providers, and we would be very happy to see any of those fresh faces coming through Vistry Group. We do operate nationally as well, so we are able to cover the whole of the Southwest, and we've got 4 business units in the West.
Thank you, Tatiana, and thank you, Luke. It's wonderful to hear from Luke also. Apologies, I'm just getting some background sound there. It's wonderful to hear from Luke also on Apprentice Wednesday about your journey and the benefits and apprenticeship. So we do have a couple of questions. The first of which is more broadly, so bear with me 1 second. Can you apply for a course about placement? So the feedback we have for that is that typically you would need to have a workplace to support. However, depending on which training provider you go with, they will be able to support you with finding an employer. And the second question we have is for Tatiana and Luke. How many A-levels do Vistry need? Would they accept 2 A-levels and an AS level qualification?
They would. We are very flexible when it comes to the qualifications that the candidates come with. With the introduction of the T levels as well since 2020, there has been a bit of a fluctuation with the A level requirement and what the T level brings. So we would consider it, and I think it really is down to the business needs and what the business manager at that sector would require. But we've seen a lot of people come from backgrounds that might have not been relevant to the construction, and they've done amazingly. What I would suggest as well is we are able to speak to our early careers teams and submit your CV even if there isn't a current position showing. They are very good at working with the candidate and offering that opportunity. So yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Tatiana. We now have a question directly for you, Luke, and it is, where do you currently study your qualification?
I currently, on a Monday, I'll work at home online, which I find quite good actually, because instead of traveling back in the day, you get it all done. You get quite a lot done within the day. So my training provider is NHBC, which is is for the housing association. So it delivers houses, and yeah, it's they're really good at doing the course, so I definitely recommend my specific course. I'm not sure about the other 2, but I think they're pretty good.
So we would use the NHBC as a training provider, and we would deliver that training if the apprenticeships are within our business. If it is a trade apprenticeship that we are allocating and progressing to the supply chain, that tends to be local training providers, and they can be from colleges to private training providers, and we would work with them just to make sure that everything gets tied up.
Fantastic. Thank you again, Tatiana Fernandez and Luke Driver. Lovely to hear from the 2 of you. And we'll now be moving on to our second speaker. We have Chrissy Santic-Linford from Evolution Marine to talk more on marine apprenticeships. Chrissy is currently the operations manager for the organisation, and it's a family-run marine engineering firm, and she's here to talk to you more on the apprenticeship opportunities available.
Morning, everyone. Thanks, Connor. I've not got a presentation for you, I'm afraid. It's just, you're just going to have to look at me. As Sharon said, the theme for National Apprenticeship Week is Skills for Life. So I thought I'd give you a bit of an overview in my time slot about my life that started out as an apprenticeship as well. So I ended up going to sea for 17 years, so a very long time ago. Also, just so you know, at the end, I'm going to leave a little bit of time for a few questions as well. But I've included a couple of the most common ones before I finish up. So if you haven't guessed already, I'm originally Australian, although my accent has changed a little bit over time. And yeah, I started my career out as a marine engineering apprentice and deckhand. So working and learning at the same time. Basically, my job role was mostly bosun, but I've worked every type of vessel you can imagine. So this year I broke 40, not age, but countries that I've lived and worked in. So the reason I give you a little bit of background about me is because my experience is only one person's experience, and from being an apprentice myself, but also working with 3 marine engineering apprentices from they're actually a training provider is South Devon College. So they're at Evolution Marine with us. I just wanted to show you that the opportunities in the marine industry can be so varied, because obviously we're having 3 apprentices with us. Their careers could go in totally different directions. I've worked on super yachts, fishing trawlers, passenger ferries, tall ships, pretty much any vessel you can think of, really. But that also means that the apprenticeships you can complete are also really varied within the marine industry, but also within all industries. So I've spent a lot of time in large-scale manufacturing, so boat building and commissioning. The options really are that broad. So you could end up doing carpentry, but within the marine industry, or anything to do with composites, so GRP and laminating, but also in the engineering sector, so electrical, mechanical engineering, or you could become an officer of the watch or a deckhand. So there's also navigation qualifications, and that sort of the upper end of the qualifications. I would say in my experience, the main difference between other industry apprenticeships and the marine industry, especially in the smaller end of the organizations, is probably that you will be on site for the larger portion of the program. So in one way or another, you will probably be on board a boat, and boats are generally in the water, not always, but generally in the water. So as an example, our current learners at Evolution Marine are on board with us 4 days a week. So they're in the workshop, they're on a boat, they're on the marina, and they're at college 1 day a week. I can't go into all of the different structures in this time slot, but obviously there are other splits. Larger manufacturing firms might have a different split of time, but I think the most common I've come across, especially for smaller marine organizations, is being on site almost 90% of the time. And that really is because of the varied situation. The most effective learning experience seems to occur when you are there in the thick of it, seeing those daily operations, shadowing those people with the experience, and getting that hands-on opportunity to advance your skills. And you really do live in the perfect place for it. The furthest you can be from the sea in the UK is 70 miles. So literally you're within hours of the water, no matter where you are. You're living on an island beside Europe, which is an amazing place to be for someone who wants to work in the marine industry. Although I'm from an island, the closest thing to me was probably Antarctica. Don't get me wrong, still a lot of marine jobs down under, not so warm down that far south, but you really are in such a great location to kick off a marine industry career and grab hold of that independence when you are earning and learning at the same time. It really does open so many doors. I've obviously ended up 10,000 nautical miles away from where I was born, and I've traveled all over the world with my work. That is probably one of the most common questions that I get about marine engineering and marine industry apprenticeships is it a good way to see the world, or will you get to travel? Depending on the path you choose, the marine industry is a really good way to see a lot of the world. The main problem I have with this question is when people add for free to the end of it. No, you will not get to travel for free. The thing about boats and the sea is that they have this romantic element to them. There are a lot of people who will do your job for free because they want the experience, because they like the idea, because they fancy it. So if you want a dry place to sleep and steady income and career progression, and you want to do something you love every day, you have to be valuable. And your value will come from the skill set you can offer. If someone is going to pay you, you need to be worth it. They aren't going to take you around the world for free unless you have something to offer. And a marine industry apprenticeship, I personally think, is one of the best ways to enter the industry and start working towards the future you want for yourself. That kind of brings me on to probably the second most common question, which would be the most rewarding thing about working at sea and in the marine industry in general. And I think the best way to answer that question is probably with an example. I learned celestial navigation despite the fact I worked engineering department, and it wasn't on my remit, it wasn't in my learning schedule, nothing like that. But I had the opportunity because I was there. I was personally there. For those who don't know, celestial navigation is the process of following the stars like a map to get to your destination. The reward part comes in with how did I learn this skill? I learned how to follow a set of stars to La Rochelle in France, stood in the dark on the deck of a traditional square-rigged ship in the middle of the ocean from my captain. And to me, that really is the stuff of fairy tales and fantasy. I mean, you might see it as a job, but if you really want to do something you love, I think you need to take those first steps. And I mean, I learned a 4,000-year-old skill used by the first sailors in the same way that they probably did, stood on the deck with someone else who had the experience and could pass that knowledge on. And I think an apprenticeship is exactly that. You get to be up close and personal with the people that can pass on skill. Hey, Connor's popping in because I guess I probably talked a bit too long. But thanks everyone for listening today. Happy to take a few questions if there are any, Connor. And good luck with everything, everyone.
Thank you, Chrissy. And no, what you said was fantastic. I mean, I'm sure we could all listen to you all day, and it's wonderful to hear your career path that's taken you all over the world. And we're so pleased to have you and your business now in the Southwest. So thank you for that, Chrissy. We've got two questions, both of which again are broader than the specific speaker. So we do have a couple of answers to both of those questions. So the first one was, do apprenticeships have to follow an academic calendar like education? For example, September start, or can you get one at any time of the year? And the answer we have to that is apprenticeships can start at any time, but this would depend on the training provider. So there is no fixed date. And the second one we have is a student has asked whether there are apprenticeships within acting and music, directing or writing, or media-based ones. And again, our answer to that is there will be apprenticeships in both of those sectors, which would cover both the back of house and front of house elements to those roles. Our advice there would be to look online from either the links that Sharon provided earlier or via speaking to one of the local training providers such as South Devon College to find out more information on those courses. And if you do have any direct questions, please do ask us again at the end of this through any of our contacts. So thank you, Chrissy. We will now pass you over to our next speaker. And we now have Lisa Watson from Bovey Castle, who's here to talk about hospitality apprenticeships. Lisa is the Resort HR Manager for Bovey Castle, which is part of the Eden Hotel Collection.
So good morning, everyone. I'm joined today by my colleague Ellie Shelling, and we wanted to discuss apprenticeships within hospitality sector because we think there may be a few surprises. So we're delighted to discuss Bovey Castle Hotel and Spa and the apprenticeships that we offer as a company. We've just got a slight hitch. So Bovey Castle belongs to Eden Hotel Collection, which is made up of these 6 beautiful hotels, and these are based from the Midlands down to South Devon. So, sorry, we just can't use the section we thought we could. So Eden Hotel Collection are an award-winning company, and these are just a few of the accolades that we have won in 2023. So we won the best training program at the Springboard Awards and also excellence in wellbeing at the HR in Hospitality Awards, along with HR Team of the Year in, again, the same Hospitality Awards. So as a company, we have 4 values. These values were written by our people for our people. So our team put them together. And the 4 values that we have are heart, teamwork, honesty, and spirited. And everything that we do is linked to our values. So this is some history of Bovey Castle. So Bovey Castle was built in 1907 for the 2nd Viscount Hambledon, who actually owned W.H. Smith's. and was built as his holiday home. It is some holiday home. And it became a hotel in 1930 and was operated by the Great Western Railway. And at that time, it was known as Manor House Hotel. So after having a few different owners, it was sold in 2014 to the Rigby Group PLC as part of Eden Hotel Collection. So Bovey Castle Hotel and Spa is a 5 Red-star hotel with a 3 rosette restaurant, and it's now enjoyed by guests who fall in love with its imposing charm. So what apprentices do we offer here at Bovey? Well, we offer a wide range of apprenticeships in all areas of hospitality. So things that you will already assume that we offer, you know, food and beverage, reception, but we also offer spa, kitchen, events, greenkeeper, and even land-based engineering. And the apprenticeships levels are from 2 up to 4. Currently, we work with HIT training for our chefs and hospitality apprenticeships, and with Cedar for our spa apprenticeships. We have also worked with local colleges as well. We also offer apprenticeship through our internal RISE supervisory programme, which I will go into more detail later. And you'll be delighted to know we also offer above the minimum wage at £10.20 per hour. And as Sharon said earlier, the actual salary for an apprenticeship is £5.28. So it's substantially above that. We offer full-time employment between 32 and 40 hours per week. And this does include your study hours. So whilst you're working with us, should you be on a 40-hour contract, we would allow you to study within that 40 hours as well. And it's on and off job training. So just a typical route that you could take when we're working with HIT Training, which is one of our providers. So if you look at the top 3 boxes, you'll see you could join us at level 2 as a team member apprenticeship, and then you could move on to hospitality apprenticeship, which is level 3, and then move up to level 4, which is a manager apprenticeship. So 3 steps in a career journey that could take you from team member up to manager level, all the time earning while you're learning, as well as, you know, on the job training and all different experiences. And then we also have our SPA Academy, which has been a huge success. So the Academy was set up in 2018, and it was the first of its kind in the UK. And it was designed to identify and nurture SPA therapists of the future. So we offer bespoke level 2 and level 3 beauty therapy qualifications. It also offers a fast-tracked option in gaining both theory at level 2 and level 3 qualification, along with working full-time. Therefore, developing your understanding of the SPA and as a role of as a therapist and the skills required a far quicker way and a different way than doing a full-time college route. The level 3s will learn a lot of our treatments, and a lot of treatments that we offer here at Bovey Castle are massage and facial. So you'll be trained on them first, whereas if you go to college, you usually do the massage one as a later module. This has also won the Caterer.com Emerging Talent Award, and our therapists get to travel and stay away in one of our beautiful hotels for 3 days a month whilst they study, and we're in partnership with Cedar Training Academy. Along with this, we're sponsored by Temple Spa, so we get to use and try all their beautiful products. Then we have our RISE programme. So we are aware that people may join us as an employee and not actually think about their career at that point. So we introduced RISE, which is our internal leadership programme. So you earn as you learn. You're already employed by us. You receive a dedicated career mentor. But when enrolling onto RISE, you do also have to enrol onto a level 2 or a level 3 apprenticeship. And that runs alongside our programme. And at the end of our programme, you receive a nationally recognition qualification, so your apprenticeship, along with a clear career progression plan. And here's some of our recent apprentices and their success stories. So Sam, at the top in the middle, has been promoted twice since completing his commis chef apprenticeship. Simran has been promoted 3 times and is now our assistant spa manager. Ella and Alicia have been promoted to receptionists, and Scott on the bottom of our screen now has a land-based engineering qualification and is our head greenkeeper. And then some of the things that our apprentices have said about their journey. So just to read through a couple, you'll make some brilliant friendships on your journey. I'm over the moon to say that after just a year, I am now fully qualified with a whole year's experience behind me. And another one, be confident, work hard, and you will succeed. Most importantly, just be yourself. So once you join us, whether you join us as an employee or you join us as an apprentice, we have a huge range of benefits. So I'll just highlight a couple of them. So holiday entitlement would be between 31 and 33 days. You could stay in any of our properties for £50 per night, including breakfast, and that's for 2 people. You could eat in any of our restaurants and receive 50% off. You could receive any treatments in our spas, 50% discount, complimentary use of our golf course, pool, and gym facilities. And we have just recently introduced Happy Hub, which is our new recognition and rewards program for all employees. And then finally, why not come and join the party? So this was taken from 2 weeks ago when we all had a fantastic belated Christmas party. So if this has sparked any interest for any of you, please have a look at Eden Hotel Collection website or give us a follow on our Instagram, which is EHC People. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lisa. Some great information on apprenticeships available there. And for those of you that haven't been to Bovey Castle, I would urge that you visit because it is fantastic. And evidently there's some amazing apprenticeships there too. So thank you, Lisa. Wonderful.
Thank you.
In terms of questions, we don't have any that have come in, so we'll move now on to the next speaker. So thank you, Lisa. Our next speaker we have for you now is Pauline Champion of the Devon Partnership NHS Trust to talk more on health and social care apprenticeships. Pauline's current role is Early Career and Volunteer Coordinator within the Devon Partnership NHS Trust.
Thank you. So I'm just getting my slides up for you here. So I work at Devon Partnership Trust and I started there 2 years ago as the Early Careers and Volunteer Coordinator. And my role is going out and speaking to individuals, whether that be career changers or school leavers, about joining the NHS. And today I'm going to talk to you specifically about Devon Partnership Trust, who we are. So we are an NHS service that support people with mental health, learning disability and neurodiversity needs in Devon. And we cover the wider Southwest region and nationally. We're really passionate about promoting good mental health and well-being, and we strive to be experts in our area. We have lots of different apprenticeships available in the NHS, and you can earn while you learn, which has been the key theme today, I think, is by doing an apprenticeship, you will earn a wage. Working for your local NHS is rewarding, and you can do it without having to go to university. Did you know there's more than 350 rows in the NHS? They span from the estate right the way through to those clinical rows. Each one will also give you that opportunity to work alongside medical professionals and the patients and the public. Some of our rows are on inpatient settings and some are in community settings. So it really does give you a variety. The apprenticeship is a great way to earn while you learn. You get that hands-on experience while studying for a nationally recognised qualification to kickstart your career. And the apprenticeship qualification is exactly the same as those traditional learners. As part of the apprenticeship, it will be a structured programme, which includes the following. You'll have the on-the-job training and development. You'll have the 20% off the job training, which include classroom-based learning, portfolio work and observation. And you will have that apprenticeship qualification or the accreditation at the end. We've talked about maths and English, and the apprenticeship rules do state that you do need to have maths and English qualification at the end of the apprenticeship. At Devon Partnership Trust, we really want you to get the best out of an apprenticeship. So what we do say is get your maths and English in preparation, have that GCSE grade C or 4 or key functional skills level 2 ready, because we want you to have the best possible experience. There's so many different examples of apprenticeships in the NHS. We have nursing support staff, allied healthcare professionals, which include social work and psychology and psychological professions. And they can start at level 3 right the way up to those degree and master. As you can see here, our senior healthcare support worker is a level 3 in mental health support. This will then lead you on to do the nursing associate level 5, then going on to the registered nurse mental health and learning disability degree if you choose to do so. What's great is Health Education England and Skills for Health have put together some apprenticeship standards. So this will show you the pathway through the nursing journey. So you can come in as that level 2 apprenticeship, working your way up to level 7. Not everyone starts at that level 2. There's different steps that you can, pathways you can follow. It's not linear. There are apprenticeship standards available. There's around 30 of them. So if there's an occupation that you have in mind, do check out these resources and have a look, because they are amazing. Examples of our non-clinical apprenticeships. So we're like any big company. We have all the functions that happen, including estates, finance, IT. Our apprenticeships, as you can see again, start. We haven't got many of the level 2 customer service, but that doesn't mean to say we can't deliver it. Level 3 is our general entry route, and that again goes right up to that level 7. Quite popular at the moment is finance. There's a lot of interest in our finance apprenticeship, and that's recently been advertised, and it's been really exciting. I think they had over 70 applications for that one. Devon Partnership Trust have a workforce of around 3,800 members of staff. We currently have 5.18% of those employees studying an apprenticeship, which is amazing. And this week we will have a celebration event for those that have completed their apprenticeship in the last 12 months. So why become an apprentice with Devon Partnership Trust? You'll start your career in the NHS and you'll earn a wage while you learn. You'll also accrue your annual leave, you'll get your bank holidays, and you'll receive the training and support while in post. You'll receive regular review sessions and you'll have a thorough induction. We have ongoing support available as well. We have an amazing practice education team who have gone on to win awards over the last few years for their support with apprenticeships through local colleges. And you get to learn while working alongside experienced staff, and you will have an amazing experience, hands-on experience with patients and service users. We want you to start your career in the NHS and stay in the NHS. And just as an example, I started in the NHS 20 years ago, and I only did my apprenticeship in the last 3 years. And that career has changed from clinical to non-clinical. So once you're in, there are opportunities to move around. And most of all, once you're in the NHS, you do get the discounts, you do get your blue light card, you do get your student discounts. We want to support your journey, and we offer a number of career development sessions via Teams. They're an hour long. So if you have a keen interest in nursing, social work, occupational therapy, we dedicate 1 hour to talk about those apprenticeship routes. These can be booked on Eventbrite, and you will have some individuals that have possibly done the apprenticeship route or really know what they're talking about in terms of what you need to get onto that pathway. We also do success with application forms and interviews as well. And we've had some fantastic feedback within the last week of individuals that were submitting applications and not being shortlisted to actually getting 6 interviews and free job offers. So please do come along, do have a look at that. We talk about transferable skills, we talk about the STAR technique. And how do you apply for apprenticeships? You can apply for apprenticeships through NHS jobs, and on NHS jobs you can set up alerts as well, so you'll be the first to know when those jobs go live. And we also have a microsite for Devon Partnership Trust, which the link is included. There's so much information around joining the NHS. We've talked about HASSO, which showed that resource with the pathway, but NHS careers, NHS jobs, the National Career Service, they're all great resources for starting your career.
Thank you, Pauline. Again, wonderful information there provided. And what's fantastic to see is we all know how rewarding a career is in health and social care, and in particular the NHS, but there's tons of progression routes in all different fields in which young people or those that are looking to change career or upskill into career can go into. So thank you there, Pauline. We'll just double check if we have any questions, and at this stage we don't. We do encourage all of those watching to fire through your questions, and we're more than happy to answer them. So with that, Pauline, thank you. And we'll move on to our next speaker. Just prior introducing our next speaker, we are conscious we're overrunning slightly on the agenda, but we hope that this information is of value to you and you'll stick with us till the end. So with that, we'll now introduce you to Emily Pearson from Pennon, who's here to talk on apprenticeships available with Pennon Group. Emily is the Apprenticeship Manager, which is the parent for Pennon Group, which is the parent company of South West Water, Bristol Water, Bournemouth Water, and the Isles of Scilly Water. Emily leads the apprenticeship and work experience programs. So Emily, over to you.
Thanks, Connor. Thanks so much. And hello, everyone. I'm really excited to join you today, and hopefully I'll give you some information that's useful to you regarding our apprenticeship and work experience programs. So just very quickly, I'm just going to give you a little bit of more information about Pennon. So as Connor's alluded to, it's the parent company of South West Water, Bournemouth Water, Bristol Water, Isles of Scilly, and Pennon Water Services. And the company have also just recently acquired SES Water, so that's a fantastic new addition to the company. So there's obviously massive coverage across the Southwest and beyond. So we employ obviously thousands of employees across the organisation, and we currently support around 300 apprentices on programme at the moment. Pennon are hugely ambitious with future workforce needs in terms of how we're going to achieve that. There is obviously going to be a huge need for those skills of the future and all of the developments that we've got happening over the next 7 years. And we have an ambitious target of 1,000 apprentices by 2030. So as you can see, there's loads and loads of opportunities to join the company over the next few years. Okay, so I'm just going to talk more specifically today about our engineering technician apprenticeship. So we launched this last September, really exciting program. We've partnered with a couple of training providers locally, and we took on 24 engineering technicians. And part of their program is that they complete the level 3 utilities engineering technician apprenticeship. You can see here that there's a picture of the group. So that was in September. So it's a 4-year program, and they'll be, learning a range of hand skills, machine skills, and developing those real skills, knowledge, behaviours that will help and facilitate them in their roles. So I'm just very conscious of time as well, and I know that I've got a few slides to get through, so I'm just going to march on to this one, just to give you an idea of what the program looks like. So you will be obviously supported by your line manager, mentor and technical lead. As I said, it's a 4-year program. The first year of the program, you'll be wholly college based. So our 2 main training providers are South Devon College and Cornwall College. So as I say, you'll be in the college for the full first 12 months, and then you'll be moving into a day release model from year 2. In the first year, you'll be learning a lot of the lower level skills. So it's a level 3 apprenticeship program, but the first year is very focused on sort of the level 2 introductory type skills. And then year 2, you move on to the more level 3 work. So hopefully that just gives you a little bit of a flavour of what the program looks like and how it's delivered and supported. So what's in it for you? Pennon offer hugely beneficial salaries. So our apprentices all start at 17,065, and that's pending a pay review in April. So it's likely to go up. You'll get 23 days annual leave, financial support towards driving lessons, coaching and mentoring, structured inductions. We do our Pennon inductions, so introduction into the Pennon organisation, and then we have a separate apprenticeship induction, which is a really fun team building day at Roadford, where we focus a bit more on apprenticeships, how and what we can support you with throughout your programme, and then we do some raft building and water activities, so that's very exciting. We obviously give and support time for your 20% off the job training. And obviously it gives you opportunities to progress onto higher level apprenticeships within the organisation. And there's obviously more there as well. So these are the 2 pathways. So we've got the operational technology, or we've got the mechanical and electrical routes. So these won't necessarily be determined within the first year. The first year is very generic, with the second year moving into a bit more a specialism, whether that be the ICA route or the mechanical and electrical route. Okay. So programme support, I have sort of alluded to some of this already, but the company are really, really, really heavily supportive of their apprentices. We have got our Pennon apprenticeship programme, so you'll be very much part of that network. We've got lots of things that we run throughout the year, such as away days, development opportunities, pastoral support, site visits, and it's a really, really exciting place to be and to be part of. So I am covering engineering today, but we offer an absolute massive range of apprenticeships across the whole organisation, from accounting, project management, leadership and management, our water treatment technicians, our engineering, our solicitors. So please don't think water company, it's just the water industry apprenticeship, specific apprenticeships. It's very, very much the whole offer across all sectors. So lots and lots of opportunities. We've just launched 52 apprenticeship vacancies. So they are live now. And I would recommend anyone that's interested to have a look, go on, apply, and put yourself out there and see what happens. There's a QR code there that you can use. And in the meantime, if you're year 10 and 11 or 12 and you're interested in knowing more about the water industry, you might want to join our Pennon Experience the Workplace programme. We're really excited about this programme. It's literally just been launched this year. We offer a range of work experience activities and events throughout the year. So yeah, please feel free to have a look on our the QR code and apply for the opportunities. I think our next round of opportunities is in March. So if anyone's interested, please get on and register your interest. That will be held at Exeter head office, Bournemouth Water head office and Bristol Water head office. So lots of opportunities across the region. And hopefully this slide just gives you a flavour of those opportunities. So we offer a 2-day introduction into the water industry, a 1-day insight into Pennon apprenticeships, our virtual work experience, which is delivered all year round. It's open all year round. It's a fantastic new programme going to be delivered on SpringPod, and the applications will be going live from March. So look out for that one. We've got our social mobility business partnership experience. So that's a full week experience. And it's in partnership with multiple businesses across the region, where you'll have a flavour of each business across the week. And this is aimed at those with lower income families and free school meals. And then we've got our peatland restoration partnership experience, which is a really, really exciting new sustainability focused work experience. So it's very much focused on that sustainability piece and how we can support our environment. So it's very exciting, and hopefully we'll see lots of you at these events, and hopefully as part of our interview processes for our apprenticeships as well. So hopefully that was useful. And Connor, if I've got any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Thank you, Em. That was certainly useful. And Pennon, as we know, are a leading employer for apprenticeships, not just regionally, but nationally. So I would urge all young people, or all of those on the call that are looking for a career in any of the sectors, to visit the links that Emily has shared. So thank you for that, Emily. We do have one question specific to you. So what do you do to the day-to-day as an engineering technician, and what sort of tasks do you do? Please, may you give an example?
Oh, okay. So day-to-day engineering technician, this is where I feel like I should have brought one of my ambassadors with me to give a real flavour of it. But day-to-day, there will be sort of monitoring pumps, making sure that there's no leaks if any of the ICA boards are not working. I'm not a technical expert, it's fair to say. I think that's plainly obvious. But I'd say it's very varied. It's very exciting. It's very responsive, very reactive, and it's a great place to be. So I'm afraid I can't give you the full details, because I haven't done the job myself, and I wish I brought one of my ambassadors, because they'd be able to give you a real flavour for it. But if you do want to find out more, please contact us through Talent. Because I'd be more than happy to link you up with one of our ambassadors, so you can actually talk about what it's like to be in any of the roles that we have apprenticeships in. So we've just launched our Pennon Ambassador Programme. So we've got 18 ambassadors across Pennon Group. They're all doing apprenticeships of all different areas across the business. And the idea is that those guys are out there talking to you guys, answering all of these great questions, and really giving you an idea as to what it's going to be like in the world of the apprenticeships at Pennon.
Thank you, Emily. And I did miss a previous question, so assuming this is for you, but we can answer it from a broader perspective after. Do you work with a company during the college holidays, and are most of your apprentices 18 plus?
Yes, so you do work with the company during school holidays, or college holidays, should I say. So yes, when you're having your half-term holidays and summers, you are in the workplace. And I think that's probably the case for every apprenticeship that you'll go on to, is that sort of those periods you're in the workplace. And in terms of age, no, our apprentices are from 16 plus. So if you are 16 or 17 and you think this is for me and I really want to apply, yeah, please do so. So they're there for you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Emily. And you kindly answered both of the questions there, because you answered it from a broader perspective too, by answering the first part of the question, and then in regards to apprentices being all different ages. So fantastic. Thanks so much. So moving on to our next speaker, and thank you again, Emily.
Thank you so much.
We now have Rebecca Riddler from Synoptics, and Rebecca is currently an apprentice and is here to talk to you more on what it's like to be an apprentice. So take it away, Rebecca.
Hi everyone, thank you for being here today. So like Connor said, I'm currently an apprentice. So I'm in my 4th year of a 4-year apprentice at Synoptics, and with that I'm studying digital and technical solutions. So my apprenticeship is based around cybersecurity and coding. So I started mine straight from college. When I was at college, I did A-level maths and BTEC engineering, and when we were going through kind of year 12, year 13, I decided that an apprenticeship was the best route for me. I didn't want to spend the next 4 years at university getting a degree and also trying to work part-time, where I could just do an apprenticeship, work alongside getting my degree as well, and getting relevant experience in my industry. So during, I think it was the October of year 13, I started looking at different apprenticeships that were on offer in my local area. I went on to the Government Apprenticeship Hub and had a look what was available and applied to a bunch through there. The process for applications for apprenticeship works the same as job interviews. To kind of submit the forms of why you want the job, why you're best fit, kind of the qualifications you have and what experience you want to learn from that. From there, I then did a basic maths and English test to make sure that my levels were up to what was needed for the degree apprenticeship. And then went on to a formal job interview with Synoptics, and I had to do a presentation on how I've used engineering the past 6 months. So that was a really good chance to get to know the company, understand what I do, and also how they can help me as well. I wanted to do an apprenticeship because it was the best way for me to get the qualification that I wanted, obviously which was the higher level degree, but also the experience that comes with it. Working 5 days a week at a company and doing my apprenticeship meant that I got hands-on experience in the industry and also got to work on various different projects doing that as well. I'm quite lucky at Synoptics of how my days are spent. So I spend 3 days working on customer-facing projects. I spend 1 day at university, and then I have another day for off-the-job hours. So a vital part of apprenticeship is having 20% of your time off the job. A lot of companies will cover this during your uni days, but at Synoptics, they give us the extra time as well to help make sure that our learning is up to date and that we have ensuring that all our assignments are correct and any other qualifications we want to get, we can have the experience to do that. So my day-to-day will vary from working on customer projects with other companies or working on internal projects, depending on what comes through our work at that moment. A lot of the work I'm doing currently is mainly towards R&D and cybersecurity, so I get a nice mix between what I'm being taught at uni and also what I'm learning in the workplace. The progression for an apprenticeship is quite nice. At Synoptics, we have an internal progression around year 3, year 4, so they assess your skills and see whether you've got the qualifications and the experience progress internally. So I went through a project engineering company. So even though I haven't formally finished my degree yet, I still have the qualifications and experience that a project engineer would, and my company recognised that and promoted me internally. As I'm a year 4 apprentice, I'm currently working towards my EPA, so I've just started that this month, and I've been working on that till about April, May time. From there, when I deliver my endpoint assessment, I then go through another progression board inside my company to make sure that I've got all the skills to fully progress on those. The progression for me after will look towards a systems engineer, but I also have experience and opportunities to do a master's apprenticeship, which is not something that a lot of people know about. So an apprenticeship is kind of just a way to get the qualifications. So you can do an apprenticeship for GCSEs, for A levels, for your BTECs, but also for master's levels as well. So my aim is once I finish my degree apprenticeship and I've got my level 6 in digital and technical, is to actually go on and do a master's with an apprenticeship as well. So that kind of works the same. We're doing 4 years at a university, getting the qualifications and skills I need, then also getting that master's level experience and getting my master's through the company as well. I would recommend an apprenticeship to anyone looking to get extra skills and qualifications. It's a great way to upskill yourself instead of going to university and just learning the material. By being an apprentice, you get the hands-on knowledge from the company that you're working at as well, but also you get a better insight into whether you actually like the industry you want to work in. I'm quite fortunate. I always knew I wanted to do engineering, so having an opportunity to be an apprentice at Synoptics doing engineering was just amazing. And I've loved the past 4 years that I have them, and I can't wait to see where I go next. But that's everything I have to say to you guys today. So any questions, please let me know. We can go through them as well.
Wonderful, thank you, Rebecca. And it's so important that we heard from a current apprentice today, and it's just amazing to hear your journey and all of the benefits that you're currently getting from your apprenticeship. I think what's been clear from our call today is that there's so many different opportunities that apprenticeships afford, and there's tons of different support mechanisms in place for each apprenticeship. So fantastic, thank you, Rebecca. We have no questions directly for you, so we'd just like to thank you for that speech there. And we'll move on to a few broader questions that we missed earlier. So we have 2 questions, one of which is, are there apprenticeships in mental health or psychology? And the second is, are there apprenticeships in the IT field? So our answer to that would be yes to both. And we would encourage you, again, to liaise directly with the training providers that are offering their apprenticeships. We'll be able to send out the links of those that are able to do that after this call for anybody that is interested. And then we can pick those up separately. So a similar answer to the arts, media and culture question previously. So we'll move now on to our next speaker. And last but certainly not least, we'll be hearing from Ben Pountney from South Devon College. Ben is Head of Apprenticeships at South Devon College, who are home to 10,000 students based in Paynton in Torbay. And the college currently has approximately 1,700 apprentices on programme and offers over 75 different apprenticeship routes. So thank you, Ben.
Brilliant. Thanks ever so much, Connor. Great introduction there. It's fantastic to be joining you this morning. This is live, and I will admit that I have some builders that have just appeared on the roof outside the college this morning. So if you hear a bit of background noise, I do apologise. Yes, as you say, I am Head of Apprenticeships here at the college, and I have the really privileged position of working closely with so many apprentices. And I get so passionate about apprenticeships because I see the amazing opportunities that they do present for our students. We have students that go on to work in some of the most glamorous locations, doing some of the most glamorous roles you can imagine. And it's great to see. Hopefully now I'm going to just summarise a few of the bits and pieces that have been talked around before now, and just talk to you a bit more about how you can ignite your apprenticeship journey with us here at South Devon College. So how do you find an apprenticeship? Lots of people have talked to you today about how you can do that, but just a general reminder to you that the government website that you can go on and search, you can look for all the different apprenticeships that are available. You can filter down to your geographical area that you're looking in and that you're able to travel to, and you're also able to specify what level of apprenticeship you're looking to undertake. The search results will give you all the information around a particular apprenticeship that's going to be of interest to you. So key bits of information like how much you can expect to earn, what you'll be doing on a daily basis, where you're going to be based, and really importantly also the training provider as well. It's important that you take this into consideration because as everyone has alluded to, you will spend time spent with a training provider, and in a lot of cases that will be at a physical location. So it's really important that you know you can get to the training provider. That will be noted on every single application or advert that's advertised. I can't stress this point enough. We really know that those of you that are really proactive are the ones that are really successful in achieving a great apprenticeship. So we really encourage you to be persistent, take your time, and really kind of spread your net as wide as you possibly can when you're trying to find an apprenticeship. Information is so key, and there's been loads and loads of key information shared with you today, all of which will be available to you after this finishes today. Be really conscious of your professional behaviour as well. Employers will, from your very first meeting with them, will be starting to get an impression of you and can they imagine you working for them in their business as a paid employee. We really suggest that you start making a list of potential employers that you might be willing to work with and look at all those really practical things like how are you going to get there. Have a little look online, read reviews about what it's like to work for them. Maybe even try and make contact with people that already work in those businesses. And there's been some great opportunities offered to you already this morning for ways in which you can do that. Have a look at their online presence. Does it feel on social media like they're the kind of company that are going to be right for you and that match your interests? And then once you've done that, find out how best to contact them. The world is always smaller at the moment, so there are loads and loads of ways that you can contact those companies. Email, social media, telephone, face-to-face, go and knock on the door. Be persistent as well. Don't be put off. There are lots of people that will be in a similar position to you that are looking for that next apprenticeship opportunity. So if you don't hear back immediately, be proactive and follow up. Be persistent. You'll get there. And do ask for feedback if you're unsuccessful for any reason. Is there something that you did that you can potentially do differently next time that means that you can be successful? And just try not to be disheartened. There are so many great opportunities and there will be one out there for you. Often it's overlooked the importance of speaking with your family and friends as well. Use the network of people that you've got available to you. These people can be really key. Lots and lots of apprenticeships never make it to an advertised vacancy. And it might just be that somebody knows somebody else and they're willing to take them on as an apprentice. So do use the network of people that you've got relationships with and do ask them whether they know anybody that's looking for an apprentice or whether they themselves are looking to take anybody on as an apprentice. So an offer of assistance here, we have our Careers and Employability Centre here at the college and their contact details are displayed on the screen there. Some fantastic staff available there that are willing to help you to prepare your CV or on any other aspect of getting an apprenticeship. They will offer you support to do that. We're also about to launch an apprenticeship ready scheme as well. So we have a scheme that's available that will support you in all elements of your apprenticeship journey, from interview skills to writing applications, even down to what you might want to wear along to an interview. So do look out for that. And we always encourage that you consider other options as well. Don't be put off if you don't get the apprenticeship at the first time of asking. It's really important that you have a plan B or a backup. And there's loads and loads of full-time courses here at the college that will support you and that have those vocational skills that will support you as you move into an apprenticeship, if that is your desired area and you haven't quite got there yet. If you want to find out a bit more about apprenticeships, please use the QR code that's on the screen now, but all of this will be available to you after the event. And just to promote, we do hold a Ignite My Apprenticeship event here at the college, and the next one will be available on the QR code that's here. That event is a great opportunity to come into the college to see the facilities that we have here and to hear more about apprenticeships and how you can go about gaining one and the wide variety of apprenticeships that are available to you. We do offer somewhere in the region of 80 different apprenticeships here at South Devon College, and there are far more than that available with other training providers as well. So if there's a career that you think you might be interested in, the chances are that you'll be able to do that through the apprenticeship route. We have live vacancies here, so any apprenticeship vacancy that is based with us here at South Devon College will always be on our website, and the QR code that's on the screen now will take you through to that list of current vacancies, but do keep an eye on that. They are changing all the time. As Sharon alluded to right back at the start, now is a little bit of a quieter time in terms of vacancies, but we will see as we start to move towards the summer, employers really start to kind of ramp up in line with people finishing school and being ready to enter the workplace.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ben. And you'll be pleased to hear that no building noises were picked up. So wonderful. And thank you for wrapping up all of the information that we've delivered to all of you watching today. We do hope that it's been of value today, the virtual assembly. A lot of effort and hard work has gone into this. So firstly, we'd like to thank all of you that are listening today, and we do hope that it's proved valuable for you. I'd also like to thank all of the speakers and all of the apprentices we've heard to today for giving an insight into the wonderful world of apprenticeships. Lastly, we'd like to thank the team behind the event today, which is Talking Slides, so making sure that it's all run smoothly, and also the team behind all of the questions that we've been posting into the chat. So thank you all for the questions and those answers. If you do have feedback for us on today's event, please do put it into the chat that you've been using for questions, or contact us directly. And if you have any further queries on apprenticeships, please do reach out. We wish you a wonderful rest of the day and good luck for the rest of your journey. Thank you.